Hi, my name is Satu Venäläinen, and my presentation is based on my recent inquiry into sexual harassment experienced and made sense of by and with young people. I have conducted the collection of research materials for the project under the exceptional times of the COVID pandemic, which has in many ways created added challenges for addressing the topic and finding participants. The data collection has taken place via social media as well as various youth centers and with the help of NGOs who work with young people. On many occasions during what was supposed to be periods of active data collection, I found myself feeling deep isolation and a sense of hitting the wall in my aspirations to create data. Simply put, on many occasions, it seemed there was no one to reach, no one hearing my calls and responding to them, and most crucially, an impenetrable wall between potential participants and various gatekeepers whose collaboration was, for various reasons, very challenging to reach. And it is these feelings of desperation and isolation that help me to create data out of my affective experiences of encountering and specifically of being obstructed in encountering my research phenomenon, that is sexual harassment. I came to view the phenomenon and the power imbalances and the gendered and heterosexualizing systems of oppression as already present in my research endeavors, presenting itself through the silence that accompanied my efforts and that was often their result. In other words, I came to know the phenomenon through not getting to know it by my efforts to collect data. In my engagements with what I see as an interactive assemblage of knowledge and its object, I have drawn inspiration from new materialist affect studies perspectives into qualitative social scientific inquiry, which highlight the interwovenness and the fluidity of researchers, the research phenomena, and the social and material reality that unfolds through our engagements with it. In such affect theorizations, human and non-human actors' capacity to affect each other and be affected by each other is emphasized, and thereby the separateness and the pre-existing nature of individual human beings is profoundly questioned. This is eloquently captured by Bronwyn Davies, who writes in her 2014 article published in Qualitative Inquiry. We as researchers are part of and encounter already entangled matter and meanings that affect us and that we affect in an ongoing, always changing set of movements. Inspired by such words by Bronwyn Davies, in my work, I attempt to trouble normative notions of researchers in control of research process by instead highlighting researcher vulnerability. I do this both through exposing the difficult experiences invoked in the process of research, resonating with past encounters with vulnerability, as well as through an engagement with the theoretical perspectives that demolish the researcher I's foundations as a separate volitional subject. Writing such a vulnerable researcher self into being is an act of plunging into an unknown space-time matter that constantly unfolds and undermines any notions of in-controlness. Following these lines of thought, I have written a poem that expresses my ponderings over researcher vulnerability and how it became tangible in my current research process. What these ponderings aim to accomplish is the toppling of any notions of an I who is in charge of research. In doing so, I enter into a dilemmatic pondering over the possibilities to know and to write an autoethnographical researcher self, with all their affective experiences and perceptions retrievable to such a self, while simultaneously attempting to erase the permanence and the normatively constituted boundaries of such a self in the vein of new materialist inquiry. So here we go. What is this I that I speak of? Whenever I write, when I plan, research also promising, novel, innovative, timely, groundbreaking even, dare I say. How exciting adventures ahead, enacted by truly a Western I. A neoliberal academic dream child, product of Western fictions. One that acts and knows on your behalf too. No need to think for yourself. But one that feels too, and lives through its acts of research. Who writes this I? Or does it get written, or written on, or written on behalf of? What happens to this I under COVID? Nothing happens, that's the thing. And the I withers, standing still, standing by, waiting, in a state of near extinction, almost stopping breathing. It does not interact. But look, it moves after all, still thinking, feeling, perceiving, getting moved as the encounters unfold, encounters also with nothing that leave their imprints all the same. Imprints on the encapsulating, protecting skin of the researcher. Yes, the imprints get heavier, deeper, sharper, piercing the skin, the pain, the remembrance. I have been here before, already know about the phenomenon of sexual harassment, of how it makes you small, shrinking, 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 and silent. No one listening, no one hearing. Because who can complain about such small things that happen all the time, when elsewhere people are dying? There are worse things to talk about, to research. And I am not vulnerable, am I? A rational researcher, uninvolved. Just need to find those who are vulnerable, and yet so fragile. And what is this I that I speak of now? This I who owns these experiences, or who is owned by them, shaped by them, constantly, in flux, who shares these experiences with many others, and yet the I does not stay the same, constantly moving, liquid, streaming, connecting, merging, and detaching only to reunite, to rewrite the emerging I's. Thank you.